The Spokester search continues, and we have Jackson here. Jackson, hi, how you doing today?
I'm pretty good. I have a lot of butterflies, so, nice garden going on inside my stomach, so that's a lovely thing.
Oh, yeah, okay. It's good to admit, though, I get nervous around, having to speak in front of people. I talk on the radio. I still get nervous talking in front of people. Do you get nervous public speaking and stuff like that sometimes?
Well, it's weird. I mean, I feel nervous, but I'm a pretty good extemporaneous speaker. So I did a speech in one of my media classes at school that I talked about Netflix for 7 minutes. And, I mean, my hand was shaking in my pocket the whole time, but, I don't quaver. My voice doesn't quaver, but, I feel, my heart is going a mile a minute. So, I don't know. It's weird. I guess I'm kind of nervous, but...
That's cool. I do the same thing, actually, when I'm giving speeches. I stay behind the podium, even if I have to lose some points, because that way, if my hand shakes, you can't see it. And I talk on the radio, and I still do that. Seriously. So this is very natural. This is a fun one where we just get to know each other. I get to ask you questions like, did you go to the circus as a kid?
I think I went once. Yeah, I did. I got one of those, the clown hats, the ones that have the fake hair on them and the glasses and the nose. The only thing I remember is the nose was huge and it would go below my lip. So I just had this mass on my face, and then if you try and wear it, you're breathing in it, and so it gets hot and sweaty.
Oh yeah, you're just breathing plastic in at that point, that plastic taste and smell. Yeah.
The glasses never fit. They just wanted to stick out completely straight. So.
That's all right. You still have to get the toy when you get to go somewhere with mom and dad. It does not matter how cool that toy is, whether it's the glow ball with the tiger dancing on top. If you don't get the toy at the circus, you are not the cool kid,
You might as well not have even gone.
Yeah.
No one will believe you.
Exactly. All right. Well, Jackson, tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I grew up in Indianapolis. You mean my background, why I'm...
Your story, yeah.
Okay.
What's the deal?
Okay, I have always been interested in media. My dad works for a hospital, and he is their creative media guy. So he'll film surgeries if they need it done. He'll make videos. He made a video for the ER explaining, what the process was, and if they have meetings or whatever, he'll show up and film them and whatnot. So whenever I had video projects as an assignment, I would go to his office and he'd help me. So, it started out, I had ideas and he would have ideas and we'd collaborate. And, eventually it got to the point where I was pretty much making all the ideas and I was editing and I was, filming everything. And he was just there to supervise. If I had a technical question, he'd help me out. And so I figured, hey, well, I guess this is what I want to do. So we looked around small schools. I went to Asbury University in Kentucky. Has one of the premier media programs for small schools in the United States. The depth of the experience and the professors is astounding. There are students going to go leave for London in 2 weeks to work at the Olympics. And that's an opportunity that we have through the school just because one of our professors worked for NBC for 30 years. So it's astounding the kind of opportunities that we get at that school. So that's where I went, and I majored in media communications with a production emphasis. Hopefully one day I would like to be a camera op for a Discovery Channel type show. I'm not really into live sports. I'm not really into sitcoms. My school actually has the only class in the world that teaches how to shoot a sitcom. There are schools that do sitcoms, but it's like an extracurricular. My school teaches. One of our professors did the first 2 seasons of Golden Girls. He did the first 2 seasons of the Newhart Show. So he taught us how to shoot a sitcom. Which is it's really interesting, but it's not really my thing. So I want to do in the field, Discovery Channel, just, camera on my shoulder, just having fun, being outside. So.
Oh, videographers. So I take it you made some cool projects. What's your favorite?
I made a project with another student at school and entered it into our film festival. And I called it Asbury Momentarily. And basically, I'd used my Canon Rebel, and I just took time-lapse photography, essentially, of various places on campus from high points. like top of our auditorium, etc., and just getting people doing things on campus. And then we applied a filter to it to make everything look like it was miniature. And so it looks like a stop-motion miniature film, but it's completely done. We filmed it, and it actually won Best Special Effects. So that's probably my favorite film that I've ever, produced.
Very cool. Now, do you put your videos on the internet? What do you do with the internet? You blog? You on Facebook, Twitter? What do you do on the computer online on a typical day?
I've put a couple of videos online. I'm not really. I'm generally the guy who's producing, creating the things that someone else has created. So, I'll shoot a project for somebody, but. No, I'm on Facebook all the time. Working on this thing, I've been sitting on Facebook basically the entire day. My sister will go to Zumba in the morning and come back in the afternoon, and she's, "Why are you still on the computer?" I'm like, "I'm doing it for a job. I have to be on the computer." So, I'll do that. Twitter, yeah, I'm all the time. My phone's on silent right now, so it's probably filling up with, my tweets. I'm on Tumblr. I have a blog spot. Which I think I'm going to get rid of in favor of a WordPress site, because there are a lot of people that are getting WordPress now.
I don't know the difference. What's WordPress?
Okay. Blogspot, I think, is affiliated with Google, and it's not extremely user-friendly. It's sort of ugly, actually, now. The people who can use it well, it looks great, but WordPress is just so prolific. Everybody's using it now, so it's sort of like the place to be. So I figure I don't have a WordPress.
It's kind of like how Facebook took over MySpace.
Yeah,
you can make your MySpace really ugly and bling it out, and everyone went with the basic standard user-friendly version. Mm-hmm. Cool, that's cool. I need to get into blogging and stuff like that more. I'm kind of behind the times. I don't tweet, I got to admit. I know, but that's good, and that's what they're looking for in the spokester. What other kind of characteristics make you a good candidate for the spokester position?
I'm articulate. More than anything, I enjoy linguistics, phonetics. My dad and I listen to a podcast called Away with Words, which is just about etymology and, history of words. This makes me sound like a complete nerd that nobody's going to want to like. But, I can express myself well. So there's that. But then also, being a media person, computers are second nature to me. So, it's interesting, even in the world where people who are, maybe a couple years younger than me, they don't have memories without the internet. I remember when I was in first and second grade, we didn't have the internet at school, but I knew about it. But, and so then I started using it in third grade, because we were online, teachers teaching us, this is what Google is. This is Ask Jeeves. Do you remember Ask Jeeves for Kids? That was, adorable. And so I've just, and I just understand it. It just makes sense to me. But even today, there are still people who, they just don't, computers aren't natural for them. And so, I spent the past year working in my computer lab at school teaching people how to use, Photoshop and Word and Excel. I don't know. It's just, this is what I do. Production is my thing.
All right, awesome. Thanks. I'm actually going to give the microphone to you now. Let you ask me some questions. So here you go.
All right. Do I have to introduce myself, or
No,
okay.
Just keep going.
Okay. Let's see. What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh
gosh. Really?
The only one I can think of, Empire Strikes Back,
Okay,
is
see,
one.
Empire Strikes Back is an excellent one, because it's not. The villains are the main characters. They're the titular characters, So it's like Empire Strikes Back and Revenge of the Sith, right?
I do like it when the bad guys have fun roles in movies.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it pains me to say this. You're not like a Star Wars fan.
No, not really.
Okay. Well, if you spend a whole lot of time online, you have to. I'm just giving you some advice here. You have to understand Star Wars. Star Trek. You got to understand. Cartoons. I don't know if you know about this phenomenon of My Little Pony.
I have had My Little Ponies before they were on the internet, but when they were actually My Little Ponies.
The new. It's fascinating to me what people find interesting online. the cartoon My Little Ponies that is just exploding with oddly the 18 to 25 male bracket, calling themselves bronies. I mean, it's fascinating, but I suppose I'm not really asking you a lot of questions. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm learning something here, so that's good. Unfortunately, though, we do have to wrap it up. I'm sorry. I know. I want to learn about bronies, though, and I do appreciate, Jackson, you being here and being part of the Spokester search. We're just out of time. Okay. Thank you.
All right.